Hi, I'm Olivia, and this is Mila. She's not usually in the frame. I don't know why she's decided that she wants to be all over me, probably because it's been long enough. She's all over me most of the time. But originally I was going to just do the books this way. Then I realized how long it's been since I've read some of these books because I was writing, I was taking pictures of them for my insurance company because if God forbid something happens to the house, I want to be able to replace my books. They're color coded, with the pink being the first printings, yellow means it's autographed, green means it's over 50 years old, and orange means it's a foreign edition. So you'll see some, like my Percy Jackson German ones, all have orange dots. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one from this end, and then I'm going to do one or two from this end because these are the ones I haven't photographed. So these are the more recent ones I've read. So we're going to do that instead, so I can talk about these books, recommend these books while they're fresh in my mind. So today, our book is The Paleontologist by Luc Dumas. It is also fantastic. I keep wanting to say fantastic students. Nowhere Bookshop is a Nowhere book was a selection for Nowhere Bookshop book club, but not the Fantastic Strangelings. It was the Nightmares from Nowhere. I'm not a member. I only have one book club amount of money right now, and so that's Fantastic Strangelings. That one. But it was a selection for the book club. It's a really good book. Otherwise, I wouldn't be recommending it. So it's the story of Simon Neely, who had a family tragedy. He was born and raised in this kind of like small area, sort of semi-rural area of Pennsylvania, and his sister disappeared in the Natural History Museum. Well, he had always loved dinosaurs, and this kind of soured him on it because his sister just disappeared. And his aunt, he got taken away from his mom and replaced with his aunt who was wealthy and lived in the Chicago area. And she helped him heal from the trauma and also helped him restore his love of the dinosaurs, which he went back to school at the University of Chicago, became a paleontologist, got a job at the Field Museum of Natural History. Recommendation to follow someday once I have an editing computer. And he got a boyfriend and everything was great. And then he lost his job. So they were hiring a paleontologist at the very museum where his sister disappeared, and he's going home to face his ghosts and hopefully get some closure, and also hopefully help this museum revive because it's set during the pandemic, towards the end of the pandemic, and the museum's fallen on hard times. So all the pressure is on him to revive the museum. It's a really good little mystery. It's got dinosaurs. It plays with our expectations, the difference between mores of the 1990s and today in a way that I find really interesting, and is such an incredible spoiler. I'm going to do a little short, I think, which is probably going to be longer, going into that. Simon goes around trying to figure out what happened and tries to cover up who he is and what his interest in the case is, which is kind of an interesting approach. I guess people, when he first moves back, people are like, oh my gosh, that's the boy who lost his sister, because they were literally in the museum at the time, and he literally lost her, and she was just gone. So it's not just a metaphor for, she passed away. He lost her. And so it's, a little psychology, a little something horrible is happening in the museum. What is it they actually say? Simon begins seeing and hearing things he can't explain. So is it a mental illness? Is it a mental health issue? Is something spooky going on? It's a nice little mystery. It's like I said, I find it real interesting the way they play with expectations and things like that, which I will do a short video on later, like almost immediately after this. So I recommend it. It's a good book. I don't think it's too gory. Like I said, there could be like triggery things about the missing daughter, about the missing sister, so that's something to be aware of. If you know any books similar to this that you'd recommend, I'm not a fan of Stephen King. I just find some of his quirks to be kind of off-putting, and so I'm like, okay, let's just not. and it seems to working for me. It's not like I'm short on things to read without that. So recommend it. Go read it. Like I said, if there's any recommendations that you have, anything that's like, oh, that's similar to this book, or it's not similar to this book, but it's got kind of, a similar vibe, go ahead and recommend it in the comments. I would love to read your recommendations. As always, like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon, and I'll see you in the next one, which is following immediately after this one because I'm going to talk about spoilers about this book, and then I'm going to post it probably. I know there's those like cards and things. I'll see if I can figure that out and maybe do one of those. And the spoiler one's going to be like spoilers. So hopefully people won't click on it unless they want to be spoiled. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye.